Hi guys, today I just wanted to come on and talk about this movie I watched, Demolition. Okay, so I only gave it a 4 star. I thought it could have been better, but it just like, wow, what a movie. So before I break down the analysis that I wanted to do, I'm gonna suck at this really bad, but I'm just gonna give you an overall summary real quick. So basically, this is how the movie goes. This guy named Davis is in a car with his wife. They get in a car crash, the wife dies. He goes to the hospital where her body is, right? And he somehow is perfectly fine. And he goes over because he wants peanut M&Ms out of the vending machine. And the vending machine doesn't work. And he's like, "What the fuck, man? I just gave you 5 quarters. Give me my peanut butter M&Ms." So he decides to write a letter to the vending machine company. And he just like shows, "Oh, your vending machine didn't work, blah blah blah." And then he just starts telling this person their life story for some reason. He's just going on and on about this. And then this woman, Karen, who works for the vending machine company, is like taking in these letters and reading them. And she writes back, she's like, "Wow, I'm crying. That was a beautiful story you just told." Well, they plan to meet up at a diner, and Davis is inside the diner, and he's just sitting there. And we see outside there's a car, and there's a woman smoking pot in the car. That woman is Karen, but she's too scared to go in, so she drives off. A few days later, they run into each other on a train. They talk, they realize it's each other, and then they're like, "Hey, we should hang out more." Well, Davis goes over to her house. Keep in mind, she is married. She is like happily married. Well, not happily, I guess, because she's kind of cheating. Not really. Uh, and she has a son, and her son's name is Chris. And Chris has an identity issue, I would say. Multiple times throughout the movie, Chris questions who he is as a person, who he likes, if he's wrong for thinking what he thinks, because he says, "I don't know if I like boys or girls," and there's no problem with that, man. Like, and Davis does a great job telling him that. I think his dad is a workaholic, and Chris was really scared to come out to his father, so he came out to Davis. But keep in mind, this whole movie, Davis and Karen are completely platonic. There is no romantic relationship going on there. And also, Karen said that her pot was prescribed cannabis. She's just a pothead. She was not prescribed anything, actually. Well, anyway, back to Davis. Davis works for this company where he just does, it's a financing company, basically. Well, he meets a dude on a train. He doesn't know this guy's name. The guy goes, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" He goes, "Oh, I work in the mattress business." He just lies for some reason. But now they start talking every day, and he finally gets onto the train with this guy on the way to work. He goes, I don't do mattress business. I work in finance." He's like, "Well, why'd you lie to me?" He's like, "Oh, well, this, blah, blah, blah." And he just goes on telling his life story. And then out of nowhere, he's like, "I never loved my wife." Apparently, the dude doesn't give a fuck about his dead wife. Fast forward a little bit in the movie, Davis is talking to Karen, his new friend that he found that is a girl, and she's like, "What is one thing that you really cared about in your life?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't really know, man. I mean, back in fourth grade, all the kids used to race, and I was a slow ass kid. If what I really cared about was I wanted to win that race. Just keep that in mind for later." Also, I failed to mention that Davis's boss is his dead wife's dad. So the boss invites him to a party. It's in memory of his dead daughter, if you're picking up what I'm putting down here. Well, Davis decides to show up with Karen, his friend. And he flips out. He says, "I wish it was you that died in the car crash, not her." Also, throughout the movie, I think the movie's called Demolition. One of the reasons is because he gets this fascination after his wife dies where he wants to take everything apart, and he just looks at it. And he really loves doing that, apparently. So he takes in the destruction job. He goes to a dude with a hard hat working on demolishing a house. He's like, "I will pay you $250 if you let me help you guys." So he gives him $250. He starts breaking down the house with him, and he loves it. And then, like I said, he starts bonding with Chris, Karen's son, more, and he takes him to shoot a gun. They bond over little stuff. And at the end of the movie, Chris is beat up for being gay. And in my review, I said this. I think that in life, being yourself, not saying it's a consequence, but you can't please everyone, right? Not everyone's gonna like you. But I think everyone should think this. I think everyone should rather be themselves and just have to deal with the criticism or the harshness from others instead of pretending to be someone that you're not. Because if you're pretending to be something that you're not, then you're nobody. If you make friends being someone you're not, they aren't your real friends because they're not friends with you. If you make friends being yourself, then those are your true friends, you know? Well, at the end of the movie, Chris tells Davis to go sit on the pier and look into the building at 2:41 p.m. He's like, all right, I'm here. And then all of a sudden the buildings crash and a group of kids run past him, having fun. They're just racing. The building that crashed was a controlled demolition by workers. I don't know. Well, these group of kids run past Davis and they're little fourth graders. So what's he do? He starts running with them. He runs right past them. That's all he cared about. He just wanted to be the fastest kid in the fourth grade. Sorry, this is a really, really long yap. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.